Brian and Courtney, well, the Sioux Falls Police Department has room for 9 more officers. And while there is still a decent size candidate pool to choose from, Brian and Courtney, although the results may not have been what they wanted, Jack fans still rallied behind their team here at Cubby Sports Bar and Grill.
KSF1 News reporter Carlos Gonzalez is at the Sanford Pentagon, and he has the story here at 5. Hi, Carlos.
Courtney and Brian, well, 2 games have already been played here at the Sanford Pentagon, and fans are starting to file in for the final 2 games. Several South Dakotans stood in solidarity today, speaking out against the Trans-Canada Keystone XL pipeline. Ulmer says he hopes to get enough surveys to show people in Washington there is a real concern amongst producers in the industry. In Huron, Carlos Gonzalez, KSFY News. That's right, Courtney. The 2017 National Citizen Survey, given to 3,000 random Sioux Falls residents, rates their satisfaction with numerous city service and community life. Brian, Courtney, Senate Bill 35 would take away the funding schools received with the half-cent sales tax. Courtney, trying to find the right person to lead Lincoln was a rigorous process. Starting in July, Robert Grimm will take over as principal at Lincoln High School. I spoke to Sioux Falls School District Superintendent Brian Maher. He says it was an extensive process trying to find the candidate they believe was the best fit to fill the shoes of current principal Valerie Fox. Courtney and Brian, the 21st Century Community Learning Centers have provided funding for after-school programs since 1990. This is the apartment where neighbors tell me an infant was found dead after a fire broke out Friday night.
Very quiet. You know, everybody just has to see.
What neighbors call a very quiet neighborhood was filled with drivers passing the Heritage Apartment Saturday, getting a look at the aftermath of Friday night's fire.
Fire department showed up in full force. They had all their big trucks out.
Fire crews arrived to the complex near 9th and Peacock Street around 8 o'clock to a building engulfed in flames.
Next thing we know, we went out on the back deck and the flames were rolling out the back upstairs window on our side. We live right next door. 10-foot flames. I mean, wow, it was really scary.
While authorities have not identified the victim, neighbors like Robert Hahn believe a child was killed in Friday night's fire.
Unloaded the groceries, put things away, sat down to watch a movie, and all hell broke loose.
He says there were no signs of a fire when he got to his home.
We seen no smoke or nothing when we drove by. And I mean, our house is only 25, 30 feet from the side of the building that was on fire.
But he says it didn't take long for things to escalate.
Were you ever worried? I was scared to death that a place was going to blow up or the whole side of this building was going to go up and jump over onto our roof.
Neighbors say crews put the fire out quickly, but there was still plenty of damage.
That's just it. Families, that's who lived there. Those are big apartments. They're like 3-bedroom apartments, and they're pretty nice. We've never had any problems.
The fire was contained to the Heritage Apartment buildings, and neighbors say firefighters did a great job managing the very busy scene Friday night.
They blocked the rear alley. The firefighters couldn't get their machines through. It was really sad. I don't know why people think they must do this. When there's a fatality involved, you really just need to stay away and mind your own business.
And I did speak to the building owners and one of the tenants. They both declined a comment. In Yankton, Carlos Gonzalez, KSFY News.
We believe we've come up with an outstanding alternative to growing shrimp in ponds.
After years of research and innovation, Minnesota will soon have its first ever commercial-driven shrimp production facility.
We've come to the stage now that we are ready to start to build our first shrimp production facility, which we call a harbor.
The harbor will be a 9-acre indoor facility and will cost more than $50 million to build.
This is where the feed is. This is the epicenter of commodity production and low-cost commodities. And the shrimp, over 45% of their diet is a soybean meal and soy concentrates.
A study done by the University of Minnesota projects the annual operating cost of the plant will be in the neighborhood of $30 million.
They project that will also, one harbor and one harbor alone could impact the price of soybeans, increase the market value of soybeans anywhere from a nickel to 15 cents a bushel.
True Shrimp still hasn't decided where the plant will be located, but have narrowed it down to Laverne or Marshall. If True Shrimp decides to build in Laverne, the facility will be located in this field right behind me.
Both of them have great attributes, Marshall and Laverne. They're both great cities, and we're very thankful for their interest and their support of what we're trying to do.
Zabel says the facility should be up and running at full capacity by 2020. In Ballatin, Carlos Gonzalez, KSFY News. After multiple tries, some Minnesota lawmakers believe this is the year.
You know, some of the groups that have opposed this in the past have not completely stood down, but they've really backed off of their opposition. We have made some concessions in the bill to meet some of the objections that they had.
Despite seeing the positives to the potential lift on the ban of Sunday liquor sales for off-sale vendors, it wouldn't change how the owner of the den, Ben Nath, would run his store.
Us personally, it is a kind of a tight-knit community, and so no sales on Sunday helps us out because with just having 2 employees, we get to be home with our families.
Although people on the other side of the counter understand his perspective, some believe it's a move that should have been made years ago.
I think it's a good idea. Wisconsin, Iowa, South Dakota all have liquor sales or beer sales on Sundays.
And owner of Big Orv's, Orvin Green, is more than willing to toast to that.
Why not have it? What every state around us has it.
He says the state shouldn't dictate what days he should be open or closed.
Oh, I'll take advantage of it, yep. Why not? Let's open it up just like any other day and get it over with.
While Green has already made up his mind, if the ban is lifted, it gives other owners like Nath something to think about.
With a tight-knit community, you know, we'll see how they feel, you know, talk to some people when they come in and just kind of get their feedback about it too. Change is never a bad thing.
But one thing liquor vendors can agree on is it's a good step for the state. Currently, Minnesota is one of 12 states with a Sunday liquor sales ban. In Adrian, Carlos Gonzalez, KSFY News.